Welcome in, everyone, to a special edition of Florida State Seminoles Live. Special in that Jason Parker is reporting directly from the campus of the University of Miami. Jason.
Guys. Don't tell them I'm here. Obviously, I'm here to cover the basketball game tonight. They're going to lose to Georgia Tech tonight. But guys, don't let anyone know I'm here. I mean, you just did, Mark. I mean, I'm in trouble now. Now they're going to know that I am on this small, gross, overpaid campus. It's a beautiful campus, I will admit. Oh no, it's not as beautiful as ours, obviously, but it's a nice campus, I'll say.
Okay, I think it's going to take them some time to find you. I think we're going to be able to wrap up your portion of the show before they find you. You know.
Well, I mean, I'm in the car that's labeled with a Florida State Town and Florida State alumni sticker, so no, it's actually not going to be that hard. But yes, I am here. But nothing will stop me from being here with Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football.
We appreciate it, Jason. We much appreciate the loyalty and allegiance. Logan's allegiances tonight were more family oriented.
Ooh, my brother's birthday party. Ooh, I'm going to Chuck E. Cheese. Ooh.
They can't move that to Thursday night?
I mean, I don't blame. I mean, I'm not Logan Robinson, but that's okay. It's fine. I mean, you know.
Oh.
Just saying.
There we go. We'll get it straight.
There we go. Much better. Thank you.
That was my graphics producer screwing up.
You know what? You can't hire good help anymore, I guess.
No, he's got 2 strikes against him right now. So one more like that, and that's going to be it for him. We are eagerly awaiting Big Game James Coleman. Hopefully he'll be joining us at some point. And we invite everyone with their comments and questions on Florida State football.
I'm on the campus of a school that, let me tell you something, Mark. Let me tell you how bad the University of Miami is right now. The University of Miami is so bad, they scheduled us for homecoming. It's going to be so embarrassing November 5th, beating them for their homecoming. Can you believe that, Mark? How insane is it to schedule your most hated rival for homecoming?
Well, as you pointed out, they're looking for a crowd on a homecoming. By the looks of some of these games at the Orange Bowl against the likes of Virginia and Duke and other teams like that, those 16,000 folks in the stands is not going to cut it for homecoming. So,
I mean, pretty much their options were North Carolina or us. Pitt at the end of the season. That was the last game. It's too late there. Yeah, I mean, their options are to lose to Florida State for homecoming. In front of the dozen fans actually went to the University of Miami, we're going to beat them. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing for those dozen fans who actually went to the school.
When is the last time you've been on campus?
Of the campus of the University of Miami?
Yes.
When we beat them in basketball on January 22nd for the 9th straight victory over them. So.
Oh, so this is a fairly frequent trip that you make.
Yeah, I mean, I make it down here. I come down there. I come get my free pizza for the media. Shout out to Big Cheese Pizza. It's National Pizza Day. Happy National Pizza Day, Mark.
Okay.
I come down here, get a free
pizza,
meal.
like most people.
Absolutely. What's your pizza topping?
Well, you got to start with pepperoni. I start with pepperoni. That's the base. I like a good pepperoni and mushroom. I'm good with. I don't like ham, bacon. I don't like getting exotic in that direction. Too much meat. I don't like pineapples and olives. Pretty much pepperoni mushroom is my standard. But I can take some ground beef or some sausage if other people around want to go that route.
See, I think I'm traditional. I'm half Italian. I go with either cheese or pepperoni. I think you can't mess with it too much.
That's it.
You got to go traditional. Cheese or pepperoni.
Wow.
Too much is over the top. Too much is Pizza Hut or Papa John's or any of that other stuff. No, I'm all pepperoni.
Who makes the best chain pizza?
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, I didn't have a lot of money, so I probably Hungry Howie's, maybe Pizza Hut. I'm not a Papa John's guy. I'm not a big fan of the Papa John's.
I grew up a big Pizza Hut fan, but at some point, just I ran into some bad Pizza Hut a number of times, and I banned Pizza Hut maybe 10 years ago. And Papa John's would be my chain of choice. Yeah.
Pizza Hut is like the University of Miami. They used to be relevant. They used to be on top, and now just talk about how great they used to be 20 years ago. That's what I think you would say Pizza Hut would be, right?
I'm not getting into that. I caused enough of an uproar this week when I stated that. So we did a live stream when Josh Gaddis, the Michigan offensive coordinator, left for Miami. We're doing a live stream. We've got almost 1,000 people online, like 960 people online. I make the statement that in one perspective, I could rate the Miami program and that job move to be a lateral move, or if anything, it's also it could be considered a downgrade. So it's a downgrade just based on tangibles. Michigan's a bigger football program, football power than Miami. They've been more successful. Certainly last year, they won the second best conference in America. They've just been more successful. It's not even all you have to do is look at the records. Okay. But if you look at Miami's potential, the recruiting base, they bring in Mario Cristobal. I'm not saying it's going to stay like this forever, but for right now, Michigan is a better football program. And all time, it's a more prestigious, tradition-rich football program. Obviously, Miami had its run of 5 national championships over 2 decades, but that's been a long time ago. So I basically gave the perspective that I could go 2 different ways on this, but it's either a downgrade in position or it's a lateral move. And you can imagine a lot of Miami fans went crazy.
I think he came down here because I think Miami has the potential to move up. Obviously, my question would be, he's more of a running coordinator. Obviously, that would be what Miami was more of a running what Michigan was. They ran the ball rather than passing the ball. Versus you come down here in Miami, you have Tyler Van Dyke, who's arguably the best returning quarterback in the ACC. So that would be, I would think that would be my question, why they would go after somebody like Josh Gaddis. That being said, Michigan top out last year. I think that would be the question. Is Michigan have nowhere to go but down? Does Miami have nowhere to go but up? That's probably more why you had somebody like Josh Gaddis coming to Miami. It's not going to help because we're still going to beat them on November 5th, and that's all that matters. I'm putting that down right now. Florida State beats Miami on November 5th. Book it. Mark it down. Write it down in Sharpie, in pen. Calling it.
If you guys have any questions or comments for us, let us know. We've got a Super Bowl game being played this weekend, Super Bowl weekend, Bengals and Rams, and we've got 3 Florida State alums participating, as you mentioned to me before we got started. Auden Tate on the Bengals side, and of course, 2 key players, Jalen Ramsey on the defensive side, maybe the best corner in football, and Cam Akers, who has certainly been a factor, despite a few fumbles here and there, a big factor for the Rams at running back.
Cam Akers finally coming back off injury. It's good to see him coming back. I think, like you said, you said it, Mark. Jalen Ramsey, he wants Jamar Chase. That's I think is going to be the matchup that everyone's going to be able to watch this Sunday. Start at 1 o'clock on NBC. Check out your listings for your local NBC affiliate. I think that's going to be, yes, that was a cheap plug right there. But I think that I want to go Rams. I do. Obviously, I think the Rams are the best choice. Don't sleep on the Bengals, though. I don't know. It's tough. If you're saying give a prediction, I'm gonna say Rams. Rams 38, Bengals 31. Mostly because I got Rams 8, Bengals 1 in our Super Bowl box at work. So
it's not a bad set of numbers.
No, not at all. I got 8-1. That was a surprising one. But yeah, so I'm going to say Rams 38, Bengals 31. That's what I'm going with.
The Rams are a better team. They're more talented. Their players are more accomplished. But Cincinnati just seems to have that mojo working. They just have that golden touch. Joe Burrow and company.
Right. You know who doesn't have that mojo? The University of Miami after they lost to Florida State last year, 31-28. Just there.
We do have a comment coming in here. Yeah.
I have to get it all out now before I go into the arena. That's why I have to get all this venom out against Miami before I go in and actually cover them objectively.
Jason, we've got a question coming in from King Mac directed toward you, and I will somewhat add to it because Jordan Travis is, in my eyes, an average quarterback. And it seems as though Florida State is perfectly content on riding next season on Jordan Travis and not bringing in anyone, not even just to back him up, but with a potential of challenging him for the starting job. Would you be in the transfer portal after a quarterback?
I think I would after the spring. I think Mac makes a good point here where he says it looks like after the spring. I think you have to give Jordan the benefit of the doubt of spring football. You know, he did improve. Would he improve into being outside of the bottom third of ACC? No. I think he's still in the bottom third of ACC quarterbacks. That being said, I think you have to give him the benefit of the doubt, see what happens in the spring, and then go from there. Do I think Florida State will make a move after another quarter? I think they'll test the waters after spring football, but I think it would be a disservice to Jordan after what he did last season, after the improvements that he did make, both throwing the ball and running the ball, and basically leading an offense last season. I think it would be a disservice for him to go after quarterback right now. I think you wait for the spring, wait till after the spring game on April 9th, and then I think you will. I think Florida State will bring in another quarterback. I think you have to see what is out there. Because a lot of these after spring is when you're going to see a lot of quarterbacks come out and go from there. So I think, yeah, spring ball after April 9th, I think Florida State will bring in another quarterback. But the question will be who?
Well, I think that certainly we saw a run on quarterbacks about a month ago. A lot of pretty accomplished quarterbacks jumping around. Casey Thompson, the Texas quarterback who led the Big 12 in touchdown passes going to Nebraska. Keaton Slovis from USC, cross country to Pitt. Jackson Dart from USC to Ole Miss. Caleb Williams leaving Oklahoma and going to USC, and a myriad of others. But like you, I think after spring practice, this is what we saw last year is a lot of guys get the cold heart truth presented to them that, hey, you're not quite positioned on the step chart to be a factor, and they may not like it and want to move on.
And you earlier talked a little bit about it with the transfer portal as far as like a lot of wide receivers, 4 wide receivers coming in on the transfer portal. I think that's another thing is that Florida State wants to see what they have in the wide receiver room to see whether they can go into more of a passing offense as opposed to more of the run-first offense that you saw last season. I think that's going to be the question. If you've got these guys coming in and they see they can actually catch the ball, they can run downfield, then yes, I mean, John, right there. Does a guy like a JT Daniels, who we've talked about previously, if you have decent receivers, a JT Daniels, or if your receivers are hot garbage, like, I'm just thinking for example, yes, I know he caught the 4th and 14 pass, but Andrew Parchment, he was a disappointment last season at wide receiver, transfer from Kansas. If some of these receivers can come in and show up, then all of a sudden, yes, you can go after a more passing quarterback. But if you don't have a decent receiver room, then you stick with Jordan Travis. You stick with what you got, what you know.
Jason joining us tonight from the campus of the University of Miami. So we are at approximately 5:20 Eastern time. What time is tip-off?
6:20 Eastern time. Tip-off's at 7 o'clock against Georgia Tech. Check your local listings. Florida State may win another basketball game this season. Florida State plays Pitt at 9 o'clock tonight. Needing a win, desperately needing a win. But yeah, I don't know. Look, I parked back farther away to where I don't think people will notice the car. I don't know. I don't want to give people PTSD about the fact that they lost to a Florida State team in football with a losing record for the first time since 1974. It's been that long since that happened. They haven't beat us in football. They haven't beat us in baseball since 2019. They haven't beat us in basketball in the last 9 tries. I don't want to give these people too much PTSD at this point.
We are hoping as well to see Big Game James Coleman, and if he follows suit, maybe Big Game James is going to join us from his car as well, like the good old days.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm doing my inner James right here. But luckily, their Wi-Fi is working, so you can at least, sort of see me, sort of hear me at this point. So
it's pretty
so far,
strong.
So we're good.
Better than I expected. Good. Strong
for the $60,000 for the $55,000 a year, $60,000 a year. They go to school here. I would hope they can get decent Wi-Fi.
So how long do we have you, Jason?
I can give you another 5 minutes, and then I'll go get my pizza and go.
All right.
Go act like a school. Ugh, gross. God, what am I doing here?
You're getting paid.
That's true. That is true. That is true. Thank you.
Makes it all worthwhile.
We talked about Jay. We did. And Jay Daniels. I mean, obviously that's the name we've talked about. I stand by it right now, not knowing what if we have a deep receiver room. I think that's the one thing keeping Florida State from going after somebody like a JT Daniels. I think JT Daniels would be a good quarterback, but if he just comes in with what we have, not knowing what we have right now in that wide receiver room, I feel like what's the point of bringing him in? It can be Milton Part 2, except with 2 working legs. So that's my question right now. Mark, I'll ask you, would you go after JT Daniels right now, not knowing what it has in the wide receiver room?
I would. I would go after JT Daniels because, again, I don't think Jordan Travis is – I'd have to go through the ACC quarterback play, but I think he's clearly in the bottom half of the league. My reservations would be something that I think we talked about last week, that I think there are other places where you see different style quarterbacks as the starter and the backup, and those teams are able to adjust. But I think we just witnessed a team that featured an offense, formed an offense, and offensive concepts tailored to Jordan Travis, and that they were just out of sync when McKenzie Milton. It was partially because McKenzie Milton is just not the quarterback that he was, but I think it was also just such an adjustment to varying styles of quarterback play. That would be my hesitancy because JT Daniels is a pocket passer. They're much different quarterbacks. And to be able to figure out, okay, we're going to have a quarterback competition and we don't know who's going to win it until, let's say, a week to 10 days before the season starts. And then we're going to have to maybe do an adjustment on the offense to tailor it to whomever wins the job. That would be my hesitancy.
And I feel like you have to sell. We've talked a little bit about this before. Yes, you're selling the Florida State name, you're selling the Florida State tradition, which obviously Florida State has great of both. That being said, right now, the downfall is the wide receiver room is average at best, and the offensive line, with all due respect to everyone's favorite offensive line guru, Logan Robinson, the offensive line is atrocious right now. So at point, you have to say, if you're JT Daniel, do you want to come in to that Florida State room where you're running for your life?
I would hope that the offensive line is going to be much better this year. If it's not, then something's terribly wrong.
It can't be worse. We'll say that much. It can't be worse than it has been in the past couple seasons.
Because it was bad under Taggart. It was declining under Jimbo. It was bad under Taggart. Norvell's not improved it much. Logan would argue that it's improved. I'm not going to discount his analysis at all. If it is better, it's not by much. And now it's going to be year 3.
I think the running game is what improved. I think the running backs improved last season, and that's what made the offensive line look better. But you take a guy like Jay Sean Corbin out of the fold, then I think that the run game the offensive line looks just as bad as it had in the past. I think that's where it comes into play.
Jason,
here we
King
go.
Mac makes a really good point here. Why do you have? Are you taking off on us?
No, I'm getting psyched into the moment of don't talk about them. You're getting paid. You're getting free pizza. Go ahead. King Mac.
King Mac. He brings up the concept of competition breeds excellence, and at the elite programs, you know, here's my thought. Let's take the wide receiver position at blank university. When you've got the best of the best, you're Georgia, Alabama, fill in the blank of one of the elite schools, and you've got all sorts of 4 and 5 stars all over the place. You can't be the 4 or 5 star that walks in there and just half-asses it. You know, there's too many guys to go to, too much competition. But if you're the lone high 4-star, 5-star somewhere at fill in the blank TCU, and you're by far the best wide receiver, well, you know that you can play 80% and still be on the field, and it just doesn't push everybody to be their best. So why Jordan Travis as a marginal quarterback is just kind of gifted the job and there's no competition there for him, I don't know that that's the best thing.
My comeback would be the fact if you look at the last 3 the last 3 transfer quarterbacks Florida State has brought in, would be Everett Golston when they brought him in from Notre Dame in 2015, Alex Hornibrook when they brought him in from Wisconsin, and Mackenzie Milton. Would you say any of those were a valuable addition to the Florida State offense? If you had to rank them, I'd probably say Golston, Hornibrook, and then Milton. And even Golston, I would argue, was a kind of a 2015, you know, and whatnot. So I feel like, I'm not saying this is not a knock against JT Daniel. It's more of a, let's see what Florida State has right now. Because for all we know, Jordan Travis may be light years better coming out this season, or he may be where he was last year. If it's the same Jordan Travis that we saw in 2021, sure, go after JT Daniel, go after a quarterback, whoever is out there. If Jordan Travis is better, if Jordan Travis looks much better this spring, it's not right with him. That's where I would say right now. That's why I'm saying wait till the spring, wait till after April 9th, and then evaluate it. If after April 9th you're happy with Jordan, if he's gotten much better, or go with it. If it's still the same Jordan Travis we saw after last season, then yeah, I say you go to somebody like JT Daniel. All right. You can deal with these people. You can deal with them. They're not as bad as Gators. They're not as bad as Gators. They're not as bad as Gators.
It's the way to look at it.
All right.
I think you found your psych point right there.
They're not as bad as Gators. We actually beat them. They're not as bad as Gators. We actually beat them. They can't talk smack to you. They have no bragging rights over your alma mater for at least another year.
That's it.
You can do this, Jason. Godspeed. Jason, I will see you all next week.
Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night.
God bless.
Jason Parker, NBC6, of course, one of our mainstays here at the Voice of College Football, FSU. No Logan Robinson tonight. Jason joined us for a few minutes. He's going in to work the Miami basketball game on the campus of the University of Miami. But free pizza, and he gets paid. So he's okay with it. And big game James Coleman, we were hoping was going to join us tonight, but apparently got pulled away. I will answer any questions out there, but it appears otherwise that we will need to wrap it up. We do have a Miami show. I know, boo. But hey, if you love college football and you want to keep an eye on the enemy, then join us on our Miami show over on the Miami channel coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern time. 7 Eastern over on the Miami channel right here at the Voice of College Football. It's always a big Wednesday here at the Voice of College Football. Live streams at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time, Oklahoma, 1:30 Ohio State, 5 Michigan, 6 Florida State, 7 Miami. Then we come back tomorrow night with another Miami show at 8 o'clock Eastern time on the Miami channel. So check it out. If you would like to help us build the network of channels here at the Voice of College Football, subscribe to any of the channels you would like. Most of them are represented right here. We've got in the ACC, Florida State, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, Clemson, Miami. We've got Alabama, Texas A&M, LSU, Auburn, Florida, Georgia in the SEC, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Iowa in the Big Ten. In the Big 12, we've got Oklahoma, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, and West Virginia, and USC and Oregon in the Pac-12. Notre Dame is the closest to 1,000. So please subscribe to our Notre Dame channel to get us over 1,000 subscribers. That's a key metric in the YouTube algorithm. They start to take you seriously once you get to 1,000 subs. So please subscribe to our Notre Dame channel. We'll see everybody at 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's just in about 20 minutes over on the Miami channel for Hurricanes Live. Appreciate you being here. We'll be better and stronger and ready to go full throttle next Wednesday at 6 o'clock Eastern time right here on Florida State Seminoles Live.